Is Heaven's Door Decades just another gimmicky celebrity whiskey? Let's answer that. All right, so you guys probably noticed I'm shooting at a different location today. I have to say thank you to my friend John for allowing us to shoot. I'm on the road up in Ohio, visiting some family and taking care of some things up here. Also using the new mobile mics, so hopefully this comes out okay audio-wise. I'll do the best I can in post-production. But let's get into today. So today we have Heaven's Door Decades. So this bottle was gifted to me by Barry. You might know him as B Will if you're on our live streams. And I can't thank him enough for giving me this bottle to sample today. So this is a barely legal mash bill, meaning it's only 51% corn according to what is out there and able to read. It's 22% rye, leaving the rest of the malted barley. So we actually have a pretty high rye, pretty high barley content on this one as well. Actually, something fun that I didn't know when I was doing the research and legwork for this show was that the design on the front of the bottle is actually welded iron gates that he created in the studio, which happens to be Black Buffalo Iron Works. So that's a pretty cool detail that I don't think many people knew, or if you don't read about it, you wouldn't know. But you guys aren't here to learn about all those things. You're here to see what I think about the whiskey and honestly, where does this land in the world of celebrity whiskeys? So let's get into that. We haven't done this in forever, a review on this channel. What? Right off the rip, I get caramel, I get oak, a little vanilla, and then maybe a little cream corn, potentially even. We are working with a barely legal straight bourbon whiskey here, so it's not gonna be your typical straight corn profile we're gonna get out of this. Also, one of the things that comes up here a little bit, maybe a little hint as to where this is actually sourced from. It's not disclosed, but it is largely rumored to be Dickel sourced. The youngest in here is 10 years. It's a Tennessee whiskey. So there's not many houses in Tennessee that are gonna be able to provide this deep a stock at a 10-year age that are gonna be able to go into this. So I say that not to scare you away because it's not the ugly mineral side of Dickel that a lot of people don't like. It's just that kind of nice, smooth, there's maybe even a slight nuttiness to the aroma, but that's enough about the aroma. Let's get into the tasting. A little cinnamon on the tip of the tongue, followed by that nice, beautiful, bright vanilla. In the finish, that cinnamon kind of lingers through the mid-palate and even towards the back, where you start to see the oak pick up. It's very, very nice, and I'm really enjoying the hints of what I'm getting off the first sip, but first sip doesn't tell the entire story, so we'll go to the second sip. Okay, the might give away how I'm feeling about this a little bit, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the second sip really started to pull in some of what I thought was starting to happen there. There's some fruits in there. I'm getting some orange. Don't think like orange, eating an orange. Think more like the zestiness of the orange. Maybe even some dried fruit components in there, like the dried fruit pieces of trail mix, if you will. It's probably the best way I can describe that. And you still get a little touch plume of cinnamon, which is nice. The finish on this is a medium to medium long. And in terms of mouthfeel, it's not the heaviest thing in the world, but it definitely isn't lacking in mouthfeel. It's a very nice product. This is coming together very nicely. If I was gonna add anything on the last sip, it might be like it's all pulled together with a second sweetness behind the vanilla, like maybe a honey slightly, and I'm gonna leave it there because I think there's a lot more to be explored here potentially, and your palate's probably gonna pick up so many different things. At this point, I'm getting down into those things that are just so much of a small piece of the taste is, who knows, your mileage may vary. So the old tried and true purchase, pour, or pass, that's usually where we're at on these, and I'm gonna come back to that as well here. So for me, on this bottle, for it being a 10-year product with a $95 price tag, in the grand scheme of things of celebrity whiskeys, it's definitely one of the best I've had. That said, I understand also price point on this is a consideration for people. So I'm going to make this a buy in my book. If you like those barely legal bourbons, where you get a little bit of the other characters of the rye, the spiciness, which I really didn't highlight in this review, but they are in there. They're kind of just underneath all those other beautiful, sweet flavors that you get. Do I think you're actually gonna find this for pours in many places? Possibly. I don't know. On a pour, what would I pay? $15 to $18 maybe on a pour would be really fair for this. Definitely don't pass. This is actually a really good example of what Tennessee whiskey can be and can honestly be a beautiful expression from a celebrity picker, essentially, that has something that's actually really good.